Welcome back, everyone, to Light on Feeds Podcast. This is episode 67.
67!
We're back here with the second week of Beyond the Timescape month.
Yep. Fantastic month.
Oh, yeah. And let me tell you, the chapters were a little short, but it was also a lot.
It was hefty with the info dumps.
Yes.
Sorry. We got so much, we actually got so much information on, like, cultivation, and we finally unearthed some secrets about, like, the gods.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because there was one thing we forgot, the poison gaze.
The poison gaze?
Yeah, that's one
that was in the last 30 chapters? I thought it was this 30 chapters. Actually,
didn't you do the poison before?
I don't think so. Let's see.
Oh, you have your notes. Oh, you would have written it down.
But I only have half of my notes here, because I wrote the other half on paper. I didn't have my paper on me, so I started writing them on my notes app, and I told myself I'd transfer. I still haven't transferred, but I have these here. Yeah, this is like the last 15 chapters of what we read, so I don't remember what's in the first 15.
Well, spoiler. Next week we're supposed to reread in 630, 660. May have read a little bit early.
I don't know if it's early. Like, I have to defend us here. I also read it. And this is what happens, guys. We record on Monday. And so, like, usually we're starting a different novel. And so I'm not the quickest reader. So by Monday I try to already have finished the novel we're talking about. And then we all know that I read at work. No surprise.
Yep, same here.
And so that Monday morning, I'm still itching for a read. And I'm like, all right, let's do next week's reads. So, like, I'll start early, but that's Beyond the Timescape this time. So, like, and then it was so good. That's basically everything I did this morning. I read for like 4 hours this morning, from like 8 to 12 o'clock. And then I caught up to next week, so now I have to go read something else. That's so bad. But it was so good. It was so good.
So that's going to be a reread for next week.
I honestly think I'm going to reread it.
Yeah.
Especially the first 15 chapters.
Yeah, because it's a lot. Yeah. Everything's a lot.
Alright, but we got to go back.
I'm assuming, I think that's in the next 30. The poison.
It's kind of spread out throughout. Because he doesn't complete it right away. It's the only one he doesn't complete right away.
Oh, yeah, he completes it late. Oh, actually, now I fully remember the whole sequence. But so it gets completed later. But
yes.
It's not here right now.
Yeah. And so, alright, so we'll start at the beginning. We literally just left off chapter 600. He does his third tribulation. He completes his third tribulation. He has 2 more to go before he gets to Tao Begetting, which is in between Nast and Soul and Spirit Trove.
Yeah, he used the Dusk Murmur command.
Yeah.
That allowed him to take like as much damage as possible and then transfer the rest to other people, which is an ancient Imperial technique.
A cheat code?
Yep.
That's ridiculous. I need to see. They still haven't set a drawback on that.
Nope. And
it just doesn't make sense. I think the only drawback that I've seen, because we've seen it twice now, is that it looks like it has to be cultivators with a significantly higher cultivation base than you.
Oh, that gets sacrificed.
Yeah, like so far it's been like at least Spiritual and Void Returning have to be like the requirements for Nast and Soul. I guess that's a pretty big drawback.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about it, when usually like a race has like one Void Returning patriarch or something, or matriarch.
Well, yeah, I guess it depends on which race it is, because like if it's like the human race, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when they're at their peak, like it should have been super easy. Just be like, all right, you're a spiritual, but you're one of our slaves, so we're just gonna take you and sacrifice you to the kids.
Yeah. I don't think it's like, you know, Void Returning is like so rare, but like really not. It seems like it's such a there's such a bottleneck at Void Returning. Yeah. Like it's huge. Like Smoldering God, we find some more Smoldering Gods these 30 chapters, and they're so crazy. And then like Void Returning just actually seems like incomparable.
Yeah.
Difference is ginormous.
But it's like it looks so hard to like advance.
Yeah, I want to know what that there must be a big secret.
Past spiritual, like when you go from spirit trove to void returning.
No, from void returning to smoldering god.
Oh.
Cause like people are just not passing that.
Yeah,
like it was such a big thing for the Holy Tide, ancient emperor, that as soon as he became a smoldering god, he was able to like liberate his whole race.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, it's just like so impossible. It seems like, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. He's a third tribulation.
Yeah. Basically, so they're heading back to Bitter Peak Mountains. Mm-hmm. They go back. They find that their medicine shop got smashed up because a local bandit gang came to them and was like, "This is our mountain now."
Yeah.
Messed up. And they pretty much they rebuild it, but like they go and find the guy who destroyed it, and apparently he was a disciple of who's the Lee Yofi.
Yeah.
Lee Yofi.
Yeah.
Yofe.
Yeah.
He was like a half disciple
Mm-hmm.
of his, and he took on a new master, and they were supposed to take over the Bitter Life Mountain range, and the cultivators there were like, "All right, if you don't take it over, fine, but don't destroy the shop." And he was like,
"Who cares?
Who cares?"
Yeah.
And he destroyed it, and Lee Yofe was like, "Holy crap! No, they're gonna kill me."
It was so funny.
Yeah.
He literally was exactly like that.
He started sweating like
it's because he heard it was his disciple who did it, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And then Lee Yofe finds his disciple. He's like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. And then he finds out like that the disciple took a new master.
He's like, "You're not my master anymore." And he was like, "Thank God."
He was like, "You certain? Say it again." He literally was like, "Say it again." And then he looked at his kid like, "You heard him? This is not my responsibility." And then they ended up like having the bandits recreated the shop.
And then they took all of them hostage, and now they just play house as citizens who buy medicine. Yeah. I was like, so they're just playing house for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny.
That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, what was his name? Like Inkrul?
Inkrul, Patriarch Inkrul, who was known as no. Actually, that wasn't that guy at the time.
Was it Inkrul?
Inkrul's later. This guy's like, his name is like Chen something. He's a spiritual cultivator. He has a single spirit trove. His name is like Dark something.
Okay.
Dark Spirit or something like that.
Well, yeah.
Maybe Dark Spirit.
The heir apparent just stared at him and killed him.
Didn't kill him.
Oh, he imprisoned him. Sorry.
He imprisoned him in soul form or something like that. And so after that, we get a little more alchemy arc. So we Grandmaster Pill 9 gets even more famous, and this is kind of where like the captain is like, "Are you really Grandmaster Pill 9?" And Zuking's like I already said it once, I'm not saying it again. You know how Zuking's just quiet, and so like that kind of was a thing.
Yeah, and then he made an announcement saying, "I'm releasing what do you call it? The curse quelling lozenge."
Yeah, lozenge.
Or, not. Oh, actually, no. We were messed up the quelling part.
Yeah, that's what like, when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. I was like, "We messed up the quelling, bro."
I was like, "It wasn't lozenge, it was quelling."
Yeah,
it was so funny.
Yeah, because we were calling it the pain something lozenge, and it's pain quelling.
Yeah, we were just like pain lozenge. I was like, "That's not right."
That's not right.
Anyone who sees is gonna clown us for that.
100%. You know, I actually put that on Wish of the World because I saw on. I think it was on exactly chapter 600 or 630 where we stopped, right? I saw a note by the Deathblade, the translator. He's like, "Oh, you probably saw it. I don't know if you read the footnotes." He was like, "Oh, if you have any friends or people you know who would be interested in the novel, let them know." And I'm like, "Man, I have a podcast out right now. We're talking about it every week this whole month. I got you." And then I just couldn't believe that we messed that up. Pain quelling. But yeah, there was a competition with Zuke and Grandmaster Pill 9. That's his name? Grandmaster Pill 9?
Yeah.
And what's his name? Grandmaster Saint Incool or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's an I.
Yeah, Saint Inowul. I think it's like that.
Yeah.
I'll look up his name.
Inwell,
something like that.
Inowell, something like that. But basically, Zuking announced that he would be releasing this new pill in like 10 days that would erase the curse by 10%.
10%.
Permanently. Never been seen before. And the Grandmaster Saint was just like, he didn't like the other pill, the other pain quelling lozenge that he originally made because he had seen the ingredients and he had said that in the past someone had tried this.
Saint Lo.
Yeah, Saint Lo. He said someone tried this, but they ended up dying from the side effects. But Zuking was like, "There's no side effects," and he was just like,
"Preposterous."
Yeah. So, well, that's before. Well, yeah, that's after the meet. But before the meet, he just told everyone like, "This is a fake pill."
Yeah.
And then he said he was releasing his own pill that for the pain quelling lozenge would like reduce like the pain by like 50%.
Yep.
So they had that in 10 days. And during those 10 days, when Zuking started a brand new training.
Yes.
That revealed a crazy secret.
Was that was in between that?
Yeah, the Golden Crow. I specifically remember.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was just like, he was about to...
Oh, he was about to go back and do something else, right?
Yeah, but then they were just like, or Linger was just like, yeah, this is remember to do the curse quelling lozenge.
Yeah. So this training, this is what the reason why I was thinking this is gonna take up to 700 to finish the arc, because we have the heir apparent taking on the role of the master. And he's kind of leading Zuking to find out the deepest secrets of his nasty soul, so he can unleash the most power out of them. And this turn was finally the Golden Crow, and this is where that dark spirit guy, I don't know exactly, but he's a spiritual person, and basically the heir apparent is like, you need to beat this guy using your Golden Crow only. You have 10 tries. If you don't, he's gonna devour your nascent soul, and you're gonna lose a nascent soul. You'll be forever down to 12. And first of all, he never beats him. But he unlocks something crazy of the Golden Crow. He strips it to the very minimum, like the what would you call it, the foundation, or
because he had tried 9 times and he had slowly unlocked some of his powers.
Yeah.
Because he hadn't really thought about it too much.
Yeah.
And the heir apparent was telling him try to give him different ideas, and so he said it represented the sun, and, flames and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so he was just trying to think more deeply about it. And then he got to the 9th turn, and he was like, "I can't do it. I'm gonna lose."
Yeah.
And then heir apparent had told him you just gotta really think back,
get to the essence.
Yeah. And he originally didn't when he said that, he didn't think Zuking would actually go
to the essence. Yeah. Directly to the atom.
Yeah.
The atomic level of essence.
Yeah. So because Zuking stripped that away, he was just in Zuking's mind. Because I forgot exactly how the heir apparent explained it. Because after he explained it, and then I see Zuking's logic, I forget about his explanation.
Me too.
Because it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
He just took it
I think he really said just take it back to the essence of the Gold Crow.
The technique of the Gold Crow.
And so that's why it started with the flames, and then he went back to the Imperial Prince who used the Gold Crow.
Yeah.
And then he went back to that guy and the chariot, and then he went further back, and that's where we found the actual essence.
Yeah.
And I think the heir apparent just thought he'd get to the Imperial Prince and the chariot.
Yeah. I think he because we found out a huge secret. So when he tore away the crow, the feathers, the flesh, everything.
Yep.
And it turned into a spear.
Mm-hmm.
And we realized that Imperial class techniques are seals.
Yes.
And they seal the taboo weapons.
Yeah. And so these taboo weapons, so I kind of thought of it, because they didn't super spell it out, but it was kind of clear that these when you're growing your power, the stronger you get. And they didn't say a level when you would fully unlock it. I'm assuming Smoldering God, because that seems to be the level where you kind of unlock the secrets of this revered ancient. I'm assuming so. Once you hit like Smoldering God, you have the ability to fully create that taboo weapon, and like it's straight up. I kind of think of it as like there's like chains locking up the secrets of your ancient. Like it's hidden behind the mutagen or something.
I don't think it's hidden behind the mutagen. I think it's hidden behind the Heavenly Down. Because like I think that's the thing that's chaining this stuff.
Well, I feel like the Heavenly Tao is chained up due to the broken God, which is mutagen.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's fair. Oh, I see what you mean. So, so maybe could those like techniques be like, I don't want to say tainted. Well, because it's a taboo weapon related to the Heavenly Tao or to the broken face. Like, because that would be a huge like detail.
Down, man.
Your first half notes.
My first half notes were so detailed. I was like, write that down. I was writing so much. It was so important.
Yeah, because that would because then it would just be like, okay, so if it's similar to the Broken Face God, then the Heavenly Tao used these Imperial class techniques to seal the taboo weapons. Yeah. But if it's related to the Heavenly Tao, then it's probably just something else entirely.
But we do know the taboo poison or the taboo weapon is sealed, and so for the Golden Crow, it's a spear, and Zoo King is able to, after his training completes, he's able to manifest the spear and like sort of control it for like a slash or two. But like he can't like wield it like a regular spear for sure. No. It's like a one-shot item.
Yeah, so the heir apparent was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
Because he's too weak to like be coming in contact with that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But his powers of understanding are too strong.
Honestly, on that, maybe it's more of something we more talk about next week because his powers of understanding go even crazier. But we really gotta start theorizing why that is, because it's just been telling us it is. Like maybe he's just like main character, so main character things. But usually main characters have something about them that there's a reason they're a main character. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the biggest thing is his master.
Because the way
because the way Zoo King thinks is related to the way Master Seventh like.
Master Seventh ain't godly.
Yeah, I know, but actually that's partly true. It is an intrinsic thing because obviously Master Seventh is also confused sometimes about Zoo King being like when he copied the full ghost face on, he was like, huh?
You didn't just get the outline? I got the face, I just couldn't get the nose.
What? Yeah, so maybe it's something related to his
Valley Crystal, maybe,
or his bloodline. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe him survive. No, I want to say him surviving when the broken face looked at him, but like a lot of people have survived. Not a lot, but like people have survived.
Yeah, there's something. It could just be main character plot armor.
I feel like there's something more there though. Definitely something more.
I would like it to be the Violet Crystal. At least has something. Because it does affect his soul. Remember that.
It does?
Yeah, like whenever remember like his soul gets they try to take over his soul and he
yes, that's true.
So it could like end like since it's in a sea of consciousness, it could be affecting him that way.
It could be like a thing that
it just enhances everything.
I'm thinking more like it does enhance everything, but I'm thinking like imagine like a technique you need to be like Smoldering God level to like be able to like touch on it. The Valley Crystal like substitutes for that, so like he doesn't get blocked by like his cultivation level. It's like as far as your mind can, because I feel like there's some things that like you can go as deep as you want, but there's gonna be a wall because of your cultivation level, right? Like for example, the Golden Crow, he can't even really use that power yet because he's so above his level that like he can't even use it. He can use the like one attack. He said like maybe Spirit Trove I'll be able to like somewhat control it. And so I think it's one of those things that it's like the Valley Crystal might let him like just like touch on laws and stuff like laws.
Because we don't know what it does.
Yeah, super mystery.
Yeah, they gave him. He kept it pretty vague.
Yeah, crazy. But so that happened. It was insane.
Mm-hmm.
And the power looks like it can go off.
Yeah.
As of now, it looks like the Albageddon is getting clapped by Zhu King. And then Spiritual, as of right now,
we don't know how
we
that's
don't
gonna
know.
work.
Yeah.
He'll just be one with his blue dragon.
Yeah.
But after that, then we do the curse quelling lozenge reveal.
Mm-hmm.
He basically shuts up all the haters.
All of them, and there's even an archbishop present. There's 5 archbishops of the Moon Rebel congregation, and the archbishop, when he sees the pill, he bows to Zhu King, and he's like, "This is a true miracle pill."
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Zhu King says some crazy inspirational words. He's like, we're both working towards the same goal, and that's to relieve, or to give hope to all the people of the Moon Worship region. And he was like, let's work together to do this. And I was like, damn,
that was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
And he said that directly to Saint Lo after Saint Lo was like ridiculing him, low key, like high key ridiculing him. And Zhu King looked at him and he was like, "I see that you have a great ambition. Let's work together." And it was beautiful. And even Saint Lo was like, he wanted to apologize, but his face wouldn't allow him to. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna eat this one and I'll bow." And so we get back, and then we come back, and the heir apparent is like, "Zhu King, do you want to learn how to use your violet moon?" This was crazy, guys. This was insane. And Zhu King, but the heir apparent lets him know, if you want to learn... What?
That's before that happens.
What?
Just want to mention the Wind Guardians real quick.
I want the Wind Guardians.
When they came up.
Oh, they showed up,
Yeah, so the Patriarch of the Wind Guardians, because remember Zhu King stole the dagger that was hurting the Shadow.
Yeah.
And killed some of the guys and then escaped.
Yeah.
So Wind Guardians pulled up and they were about to go attack Zhu King. And then the Patriarch walked to the shop and he was looking at everyone like ants. And then he was just like, he was gonna he actually did stomp the ground. He was like, "I'm just gonna blow this bitch up."
Yeah.
Nothing happened. He's like, "Why isn't anything happening?"
He's peak spiritual, so.
Yeah. I thought it was Winter. Oh no, you're right.
He's peak spiritual because another fact is that Nether Sprite got taken out of that minor moon fragment, and she's also working. She also has a dump truck. Supposedly.
The captain.
Yeah, the captain kept saying like,
"Why are you swerving or why are you swaying your butt all the time?"
Yeah,
trying to seduce.
I like big booty Nether Sprite. Big booty Nether Sprite. I'm like, oh wow, that's not what I was imagining. I was imagining like a super slim ghost.
Yeah,
because she's a ghost.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, I guess this is a big booty ghost. That was something I wasn't expecting at all. But yeah, that guy comes in, the Patriarch. He tries to act all big and tough, and it's funny because he tries to give respect to Nether Sprite, because Nether Sprite is also peak spiritual because she got injured. She should be returning, and he's like, "Oh, like for respect to her, like we can discuss this, you know." And then she's like, she basically looks at him like, "Don't talk to me. Like I don't run things."
She just told him to piss off.
Yeah.
He was just like, fine, whatever.
And then I think that's when he was about to really wreck stuff, and the heir apparent just looked at him, and he was like, "Whatever you want, master."
Yeah. He's like, "I'll buy some pills too."
Yeah. And then after that, the Wind Guardians brought all their holy artifacts to the heir apparent.
Yeah, for Captain.
And we got all their stuff basically. We basically looted them.
We looted them.
And the Patriarch, I think he dropped all his spirits of holding, or his holding bags, whatever they call them, spirit rings, spatial pouches.
And then after that, now you can.
Okay. Guys, this was insane. Alright, so the heir apparent tells Zhu King, "Do you want to unlock the power of your violet moon? If you do, meet me like 5 days later at the time of
It's like at dawn.
At dawn.
On
a special day. And I can't remember why it's special though. I think actually I do remember. On a special day, and if you do, just be aware that you the same person if you find this power, and like you might not ever be able to be the person you once were before. And so Zoo King's thinking about it, and he was like, "I'm not giving up." Basically, it's either he has to give up on the Nascent Soul or not. He'd have to like throw it away entirely.
Yeah, throw away the Violet Moon.
Yeah, and he's like, "No, I want this power. Like, I want it. I want to take it to its peak. You know, like all his other stuff." And so he takes it. He goes to the Air Parent at dawn, and the thing that happens, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the red moon tides begins. Mm-hmm. And so basically what that means in the, what region is this called again? It's not, is it the moon region? What's it called? It's not called the Crimson Mother region. Is it the Moonlight?
Moonlight region?
Is it Moonlight region?
I mean, I see Moonlight, Moon Worship, but I think it's Moonlight.
Moonlight region?
Yeah.
So in the Moonlight region, obviously everybody has the curse, and so they can't leave. And when this red moon tide occurs, that means Crimson Mother is going to awaken and eat everybody. So she's going to come out. Now, it doesn't happen right away. It takes over a year. And that's just like, she's coming, basically. She's going to wake up. And at this moment, Zoo King unlocks the power of the Violet Moon. And basically, the power of the Violet Moon, as we all know, is a godly power. But to become a god, there's steps to it. There's levels. We don't know all the levels, but we learned the first level. And through it, we find out that Zoo King has to go through the first level called God Glimpsing. And what happens is that he basically, the Air Parent sucks everything out of Zoo King, and he becomes like a ravenous beast. And it's like you have to feel the hunger that Crimson Mother feels.
Yeah, so we come to understand why the gods are so hungry all the time. Because he said the way to become a god, or the path to becoming a god lies in their hunger.
Yeah.
And so Zoo King, basically he starves Zoo King, and Zoo King, he's kind of just laying there. Even though he's starving, he's just like, this can't really, that's all, that be it. So that can't be all it.
It can't be all that it is.
Yeah. And so he starts thinking, he's just like, what is it that makes a human a human? Yeah. And it's like their reason that restrains their instinct. So he just lets go. Because he remembers that when he devoured those god servants, or god slaves, when they were chasing
Li Yufei?
Yep. He was hungry. He felt a little insatiable, but he suppressed it. So he released that suppression, and he turned into a beast. And he started eating everything in his path.
There was a big thing. There was like his human nature, which you just talked about, and his animal nature was that. And so he started like eating everything, but then
the more he ate, the more hungry he got.
Yeah. And so then he wasn't able to feel the power of a god there. He was like, this isn't it. After a while, so he stopped himself. He was like, what is it? There's human instinct, animal instinct. He's like, what is God instinct? And then basically it was like you kind of have to let the godliness take over and forget everything about what you once were. And this scared me, bro. I was like, so is you telling me that all gods are like this? And this is where we also find out that there's gods who are born gods, and then there's postnatal gods.
Post-heaven gods.
Post-heaven gods. And those are gods that came about after...
They're like mortals that become gods. They're not born gods.
Exactly. And the difference... There's also different ways to become a god as well. So we find out here that there's a god that in this scenario that you lose all emotions, all connections to your world, everything, and that's just who you become from here on out. And that's one type of god. And then there's a god who can control that emotion and can become emotionless but not lose their connections, right? And in this scenario, Zoo King is just blood incarnate, going crazy.
Yeah, and he's fighting his human nature and his godly nature, because his godly nature just disregards everything, because everything in his if he fully inherited his godly nature, everything in front of him, nothing matters, because all living things are meant to be his nourishment.
Like, it was basically saying, like, who is the king? Doesn't matter. Who is the captain? Doesn't matter. Who is Master Seven? Doesn't matter. Who is Plum Dark? Doesn't matter. Like, he was going through everybody, and it was like saying, like, if you follow your godly nature, then nothing matters. Mm-hmm. And the captain shows up, and this is crazy. And he was like, Zoo King, you can eat me. Like, come over here and eat me. And I was like, I was thinking that the captain had something special about him that if Zoo King ate him would help him like come back to normal. That wasn't it, bro. So basically, like Zoo King like was invited by the captain to eat his arm, and Zoo King was like, no, I can't do it. And the captain was like, no, come on, just do it. And Zoo King starts eating his arm, and he eats his arm, but then he backs up, and he's just so disgusted with himself that he like starts puking everything, and like literally rips his guts out. So he gets rid of the captain, and there he controls the godly power, and he finds out that the way to control God glimpsing.
Oh wait, you missed the part.
What?
That it was before he like starts controlling. He runs away. Yeah. And then the captain finds him again, and like Zoo King can't control himself.
Oh.
And so he's rushing at the captain, and the captain reveals the flower.
Oh yes, yeah.
The flower for
Sergeant
Thunder.
Yeah.
It was the life
something flower.
Yeah, but basically it extends your life, and it's the flower he had always been looking for, but he never found.
Yeah.
And so the captain finds Frank. So Zoo King like he stabilizes.
Yeah.
And so the thing that helps people not lose themselves to godliness is an anchor.
Yeah.
As long as you have an anchor, you can balance yourself between your human nature and your godly nature.
Yep. So
like he doesn't lose the godly power, or he gains the godly power, but he doesn't lose himself.
Yeah, and the big thing about it is that when you can take your godly nature and become it. Or what Zoo King here does when there's like an anchor is that he's always in his human like self sort of, but he can tap into his godly power, and even when he does tap into it, he can stop himself. Mm-hmm. So he can like obviously use his power how he wants, and if he ever it kind of explains when he starts using that power that if he uses too much of it, he could lose control. So like he has to he can't go beyond his means.
Yeah.
But yeah, that flower was important.
Yeah,
that was a big thing.
Yeah. It was so
shocking. Yeah,
and you're just like, damn, they finally found the flower.
Yeah. We also find out here that basically what Zoo King is trying to do right now is become the god of the violet moon, and what Crimson Mother is trying to do is become the god of the red moon. And so we find out a couple things here. What happened?
Well, they're both trying to become the red. They're both.
I'm gonna get to it.
Okay.
I know what you're gonna say.
Okay.
So the Crimson Mother is trying to become the god of the red moon, and the red moon was before Crimson Mother, but she's trying to become the red moon. And if she does ever complete her mastery of the red moon, she'll take it over, and like she'll just go like crazy in power. Like it'll be crazy, and that's like her like lifelong goal.
Yeah, to steal its authority.
Yeah, steal its authority. And Zoo King, on his path of the Violet Moon, realizes that it's the very same path. So, like, we finally see that, like, there's no, like, both can coexist. Because they're both going towards the Red Moon, so one has to... Whoever, like, completes that race will eat the other.
Yeah, so it'll pretty much be, like, Crimson Mother, like, Red Moon, or it'll become Zoo King's Violet Moon.
Yeah.
Like they're both trying to take the Red Moon authority.
Yeah. And so that was pretty huge. It also was interesting to find out that Crimson Mother hasn't done it yet. She's a high god.
That's how difficult it is.
Yeah, so I'm like, she's a high god. There's like a regular god, high god. I don't know how high you have to be to take the Red Moon's authority, but you gotta be something crazy then.
Yeah, I just can't wait until they start explaining like god cultivation, like what goes through the process of like being a god, and like what is the path after? Because like high god obviously isn't like
peak.
So like what is it? What does it mean to be like surpass a high god?
And so we were definitely right before about, but we were also wrong about the smoldering god cultivation level. What goes beyond? Because this is a huge info dump, right? There's a lot of stuff here, and so we were saying we're like, oh, once you hit the level above Smoldering God, you can probably get the qualification to be a god if you want. So it's kind of, that was incorrect. Once you hit Smoldering God, like it's not like Smoldering God equals you can reach God if you want, but basically that's the level where it seems like you can do it beforehand, obviously, Laser King, but I think by Smoldering God is where you have like the option if you'd want to like start your God path.
Yeah.
Because the heir apparent, we find out, didn't want to start his God path. And so he's like, I'm Smoldering God, but I denied the God path. And like, so that kind of is something important there. And also, there's like a bunch of levels to godliness. We don't know them, but we do know the first level is God glimpsing, and that's when you go crazy with hunger and eat everything.
And that's why Crimson Moon Goddess, the Ancient Spirit Emperor, the Captain, they're all hungry.
Yeah, but this is also confusing because the Captain even said, like, a lot of people to control their God glimpsing have to go through a bunch of God glimpsing trials. So the trials are when he goes crazy and eats everything. But then once you can control it, you've like completed God glimpsing.
He did in the first try.
Yeah, he did it on the first try. And the Captain has completed it. That's why I'm still like curious about this hunger thing, because the Captain has completed God glimpsing. Like we find out that the Captain has completed that, but because he even says like when he did God glimpsing the first time, like he lost some things, meaning he probably ate people who were important to him, and so we don't know how far the Captain is on his level of godliness, but he's already finished God glimpsing, and when he went through it, he like decimated people. And I thought that was important because we're just finding out more and more about the Captain through this arc, and like he's something serious for real. He's so serious for real.
I mean, took a bite out of the Crimson Mother.
Yep. That was all insane, bro. I couldn't believe all that.
And then after God glimpsing,
I didn't think they went to the next level.
Yeah, it's right.
Are you talking about God Trove?
No, I'm talking about the daylight.
What are you talking about?
How he
I thought you were talking about the next level of godliness.
No.
Okay,
For the next.
Okay, the next
after
thing.
that part.
Let me just make sure we got this all. Oh, also, when he does complete his God glimpsing, his Violet Moon nascent soul becomes spiritual, and it doesn't become just a spiritual; it becomes a God trove.
Yes,
so
true. So when he glows up, he'll have 2 spirit troves.
Yeah,
officially.
Yes, and so I'm just confused though still about the spiritual thing, because it's like typically a typical nascent soul person has 6 nascent souls, but it seems like 5 spirit troves is the peak. So I'm wondering how that math matters.
Is it 6 nascent souls?
Yeah, because they said if you have 120 Dharma apertures and foundation establishment, you'll have 6 gold cores.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have 7 if you get your 5th flame. And then, yeah, you'll have 7 like that. Then you'll have 5 more with non-B12.
Yeah, there's 2 more from something else. I can't remember.
No, it's...
Or 1 more.
It's 6 for 3. And then I think 7 is 4. And then 8 is 5.
Nascent Souls?
No, Heavenly Palaces. Gold core. I think it's 8. Yeah. So I think 3 is 6. 4. So life flames. We're talking life flames. So if you get 3, which is 90 Dharma apertures, I think you get 6 gold cores. This is such a point of contention that is in my notes because I know I forget. I forgot my notes. And the 4, if you get 120 Dharma apertures, 4 life flames, pretty sure you get 7. And then if you get your 5th flame, you get 8. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. I didn't think that they had 6 nascent souls, but
yeah, because they did say that 6 was like the average. Like 6 nascent soul. Because if you have, so for every heavenly palace you have, you get a nascent soul. So it's like the average person only has 6 gold cores, 6 heavenly palaces.
Oh, just okay.
You're thinking about like the really high numbers, right? 30. So the way it works is if you have 6 nascent souls, every time you go through tribulation, you get soul power. So if you go through 5 tribulations to reach the peak of nascent soul, you'll have 30 nascent soul power.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why Zhu King, after his 3rd tribulation, has 39 nascent soul power. Because after his 2nd tribulation, actually, he had 39. After the 3rd, they don't say, but we can assume he has at least 52. Because his original count as double as 26. So after the 1st.
Yeah, that is weird because when you look at his nascent souls, he has the Blue Dragon, the Poison Pill, Violet Moon, the Golden Crow. What's the 5th one?
D132. Ghost Emperor.
Ghost Emperor. Okay. Oh yeah, Ghost Emperor. And then the
Daylight.
And
then we're just missing one that we always miss.
Oh, Emperor.
No, we said the Ghost Emperor.
No, the Emperor Sword.
I don't think that was his own, was it?
Is that not an Nascent Soul?
I don't think it's his own Nascent Soul.
You sure? Like, that was a pretty big one.
Because I think his Golden Crow was the only Imperial Technique yet. Like, I know he has the Imperial Sword, but it wasn't an Imperial Technique yet.
Wait, so how does Spiritual doesn't make sense now?
That's what I'm saying, the numbers don't work, because typically a person has 6 Nascent Souls. I know that for a fact. The Gold Core stuff, I always forget, guys, I'm sorry. But I know for sure 6 Nascent Souls is like the average. So why is it
they have to combine it?
Why is that 5 Spirit Trove is like the peak? Or at least we've been told that peak Spirit Trove is 5.
No, it's definitely like 75.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how Zhu King right now has 13 Nascent Souls. I don't know how he's getting that down to 5. And he has a God Trove.
Like, are they combined? Oh, well, they could do it like they can group certain things up, right?
Yeah,
like if you have a God Trove, like it's not really formed, but you could put like the other godliness stuff in it, right? Maybe like with its Violet Moon, like the Poison Gaze goes in that. And the D132 like goes in it. Yeah. So like the God Trove shit, it's like God Trove is like all God stuff related.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. Probably not soon, but like the next 200 chapters for sure.
Yeah.
Because he already finished his 3rd tribulations, only 5 tribulations, and he's rushing through them. Right?
Oh yeah. So
there was just a lot of like God stuff, and it was good to finally see all that because it was really big. We find out he can. Oh, big thing for his God body is that I think that was important. Is that when the finger of the God took over him, it created a God body for Zhu King. But before then, it wasn't his. Now it's like he controls it. Like it's his body. So that was really big. And what was the other one? Oh, another thing. We don't know the level of what it is, but when he does finish his God glimpsing, he has 1 drop of violet blood. And the heir apparent says, when you make your whole blood, all of your blood violet powered, you'll reach the next step. So we do know what he needs to do to get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so after that, then the next or the last thing should be the daybreak light, right?
One more thing I think this is important is we find out that all of the Imperial sovereigns, like not all of them, they had an option when the face came that they could leave, and like if they want to, right? Like you don't have to leave. And the heir apparent is like, oh, you call people like what do we call them? A holy land.
All those people who came from the Holy Lands, they call them cowards.
The heir apparent calls them cowards because he's like, do you call people who run away holy? Yeah. And Zhu King's like, you're right. So a lot of the stars above revered ancient are holy lands from Imperial sovereigns, but that doesn't mean they're still alive. As I said, a lot of them have died over the.
I mean, that makes sense. They're probably contesting for land or resources and stuff.
And we do find out that the nearest one is like really close. Like it's like, I wrote it down, but like it's like what is it? On the 12th, I wrote down this because I feel like it might be important one day. It says on the 12th day of the 6th month, look, Keith, that is where a star will be with a land that had an Imperial sovereign. I don't know. I don't know what Keith is. I think I might have misspelled that.
It might have
been north.
It's probably meant to say east.
Maybe east.
Look east.
Maybe east, yeah. I don't know, bro. I be writing, I be reading, bro. So on the 12th day of the 6th month, look east.
Yeah.
And you'll see the closest star. That's the closest holy land to the revered ancient. So that was pretty big.
Yeah.
That was some big hints.
And then there's 2 things left.
Yeah.
Actually, before Zoo King did God glimpsing, they went and grabbed their 5th sister.
Yeah.
So, and she has a crazy power that lets her revive all things.
Yes.
But at the cost of her own power.
Yeah.
So all of their siblings, when they were younger, they'd always infuse power into her so that way she wouldn't die.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
we also find out here that there's like different smoldering gods has power of authority, and hers is that heir apparent is like.
It's just like
perception.
Yeah, altering perception.
And Princess Bright Blossom is like time.
Yep.
So that was pretty big.
And then they have this crazy poem that she was locked behind.
Yeah.
I can't remember it exactly.
I didn't think it was that super boring.
It's probably. Bro, what?
I don't like poems, bro, because I can't ever understand them.
Bro, that's gonna be so important.
That's why I just like they'll explain it to me.
They will explain it because it's looking like.
I saw that poem.
The author's gonna like, and I bet she's gonna be like a double like a whammy or something. It's like it was like people thought it meant this, but it actually meant this. So I can't wait for that to get explained.
Yeah, I think we also got the 8th brother here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did.
So we also got the 8th brother, and his authority is violent rage.
Yeah.
Violent rage, and we find out that he's actually those dormites that carry the doors on their back.
Oh yeah.
That and it was a cool little tidbit that basically every time somebody uses one of those doors, it inflicts pain on the 8th brother. So back when the heir apparent and Zoo King like first met, Zoo King was about to take a door, and the heir apparent told him like, "Don't take it, like come with me." And then everybody was like, "Oh, that's why he did that, because he knew his brother would get tortured if he used the portal." But we rescued the 8th brother, and he's basically like a meathead. So violent rage is his power. So like and they all look down on him. He's like the little brother, and
he is 8th brother.
Yeah, he is 8th brother. And so we got 4 smoldering gods chilling there, and it's so crazy. That's why I'm saying we got a lot of smoldering gods around. And it just seems like we're unlocking more of them.
Yep, and then the last thing is the daybreak light. So Princess, what's her? The third.
Bright Blossom. Or something?
Bright Blossom. She decides to take a crack at teaching Zoo King. You know, and the heir apparent warns her. He's like, his powers of understanding are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Be careful with what you say. And so she tells him that similar things like. For your techniques, like your imagination can hold you back a lot. So, like, you need to really understand, like, really like look at your techniques and like look at how far you can take them. So she talked about the daybreak light, and she talked about his powers of like different applications it can be used for. She's like, so don't let your imagination restrict you. And Zoo King was like, and so his imagination was working in overdrive, and he realized, he said, oh yeah, light is reflected off of all things, so theoretically I should be able to recreate anything I can see with daybreak light.
And in the process, I might add, of finding this information now, he's like, if I can do this with my eyes, I can also do it without my eyes. So instantly, he plucks out both eyes. I couldn't believe that, bro. He just was like, wait, this training would be more effective without eyes. Yeah, instantly, bro. I couldn't, like, I know they'll come back and, like, everything, but, like, just, like, instantly pluck out your own eye, bro. And I could not think of anything else besides, like, now that I like taking eyes.
But yeah, basically, he ended up just continuously practicing honestly, when you read it, it'll definitely be more impressive than what it.
Yeah.
It's just hard to describe. Like,
yeah, the majesticness of
of
it.
like
all.
his thought process and how he got into it, and he ends up recreating the Imperial Sovereign's nail.
Yep.
And so they were just like, what?
Literally.
And then that's when the chapter ended. They were just like, he did it.
Yeah, and so it's basically like him training all his nesting souls. So he's got the gold crow. He's done. He's still in the process of the taboo poison. He's done daylight break. Yeah. What else? He's still missing other ones then. He's missing his heavenly Tao. He's missing his taboo poison. He's missing
Ghost
his
Emperor.
D132, Ghost Emperor. Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see.
His Timescape bottle.
Oh yeah.
That's the one we always forget.
That is the one.
That is it. It's because it's not past, present, or future. We can't grasp it, bro. That's what it is.
It's beyond the timescape.
That is actually so funny though. We forget about it because it makes sense. We forget about it.
You're supposed to forget about it.
Oh, that's actually lovely.
Working his magic on us.
Bro, we've been transported in. Once you start reading Beyond the Timescape, you've been brought in to the Timescape, and there's no escaping it.
No bueno.
Yeah, that is actually hilarious. Wow. But yeah, guys, that's chapter 600, 630. Also, we decided that, so we are doing the month, but after 630 to 660, we'll go to at least 700 minimum. We'll see where it is, the ending there, but we'll talk about it more next week when more is out. But we're going to at least 700.
Yep.
In this month.
It's already at 691.
And I don't think this arc is done at 691.
No.
So it looks like I might have not even been right about 700. It's looking like it could be like 725.
Yeah.
Just out, because we both read up to 660 this morning, because like I told you, those 30 chapters are fire, and I'm going to reread them. But yeah, there's still a lot left. But I can't wait to talk about it next week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Besides that, we what else is going on? What else is going on?
I'm just waiting for novels to catch up.
Yep, I know. Splitting the Heavens.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing that probably after.
Yeah.
We wanted to cover the latest book that just came out.
Yeah, so we're gonna
the book previous
that just finished,
because the new book the new volume just came out.
So we're thinking of just going book by book with that one. Depending on how long it is, of course. Like the last one that just completed was like maybe like 80 chapters, so it like works out. And there's like they're pretty much all around like 80, like anywhere from 60 to 120 chapters. So I think it works out. Except the first one, which is 200 chapters long. But it's actually funny because the first time we reviewed Splitting the Heavens, we just did the first book.
Yeah.
But so yeah, guys, this has been episode 67 of Light Novel Fiends. It's been Adam Mark.
This gamer.